It is the 13th day of July, the year 2023. You're just in time for Capital News Bulletin, where we bring you stories that are making headlines. My name is Fidel Kizito. The government has imposed an indefinite ban on all forms of public protests. Speaking during a public function in Kajiado East, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kindiki said yesterday's protest, which has so far claimed 7 lives, can only be equated to acts of terror. This came barely hours after Edwin Sifuna hinted at the Azimio coalition stepping up its protest to pressure the government into addressing the skyrocketing cost of living and repealing of the Finance Act. Kindiki further stated that the government will be withdrawing security details assigned to any politician organizing protests.
Hakuna sheria ya wanyonge na sheria ya wakubwa. Hakuna sheria ya mwananchi na sheria ya mawaziri. Sheria ni kutoka sasa katika nchi ya Kenya hakutakuwa na maandamano na vurugu tena. Na hatutakubali mtu yeyote. Na ule anafikiri ni mchezo ajaribu. We will not allow any violent demonstrations ever again in the Republic of Kenya.
Public vehicles have been allowed back on the Nairobi Expressway after a 10-month ban. Transport Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen noted lifting the suspension will have a direct and positive impact on the country's economy, create more jobs and ensure effective mobility across the city. He added that the decision is in line with the government's focus on making Kenya a global leader in the provision of transport and logistics, a key driver for sustainable economic development. His predecessor James Macharia banned PSVs carrying more than 7 passengers from using the suspended highway in 2022 following a number of accidents at the Mlolongo exit. Finally, Trade and Investment Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria has linked yesterday violence protests in Mlolongo to the decision by Kenya Kwanza government to evict squatters from a parcel of land belonging to East African Portland Cement Company. Kuria was reacting to violence witnessed in Mlolongo in the wake of anti-government demonstrations called by the opposition leader Raila Odinga over high cost of living and punitive taxation.
Let me just say this, for avoidance of doubt. Global investors are very resilient nowadays. They're very resilient. They operate in hotspots. They operate in much more harsh environments. The modern day investor knows what they are looking for. The modern day investor looks at the opportunities, not in the small rumblings that would be here and there. And so the presence of $2.5 trillion or a company that we have today shows the kind of consistency, confidence, and the resilience of Saudi investors and indeed all global investors. And we'll keep on focus and we'll march on. Nothing is going to derail the agenda of the Kenyan government to ensure that we create an environment that is conducive for investment as a growth takeoff. If we do not have investment, how are we going to improve the standards of living of the people? So if we allow ourselves to be sidetracked by any noises that can come out there, that we are not going to achieve our objective.